I just realized how hard it is to find AAA games among the most wishlisted games on Steam. If you think that the most fun you can have right now is in the indie sphere, you are right on the money. Well, not literally. I looked everywhere, but apparently money is under the bed. What can I say? It's cool when your demons are paying you rent. At first I thought that this is a pretty creepy story about the doppelganger that is hiding in your shadow, menacingly eating ice cream. Instead, it's about this greedy creature. The girl finds a strange statue and unintentionally makes a wish to have more pocket money. After having a nightmare, she wakes up cursed with a jar of change. The girl talks about this incident to her friend, and together they are heading off to investigate what is happening. And by together, I mean it's every man for himself, because they immediately get separated. You need to find a way to escape the shadow realm and lift the curse. Pixel art visuals here are top-notch, and I can add that puzzles are good, but the highlight for me was the writing. It mixes a scary, disturbing setting well with a clueless and unbothered main character who will touch every gross piece of paranormal mystery. I feel sorry for telling you all of it, because it actually doesn't matter. Most of the demo will not be used in the final game, which makes it a neat little standalone game with 5 different endings. Radio the Universe looks like it's having a psychosis, and I'm all for it. You play as a mystery meat in a cyberpunk world. As a player, you need to piece things together on your own by witnessing rare dialogues and seeing cryptic cutscenes. I don't know for sure, but I have a little theory, a hunch, and I think I can correctly guess who directed these cutscenes. I think it was Sadako. The most fun I had was during combat. I love bizarre bosses, and this game features some. But I also love the elites here. This chunky boy is predictable. Looks easy, is easy, but has a trick up its sleeve to make you panic. This round boy is an unpredictable piece of work and has a mind of his own, but he is also manageable. Even mobs give you interesting encounters, thanks to a curious in-game mechanic. Enemies drop XP, only when killed with exactly 0 HP. You need to memorize how much damage each of your weapons deals and calculate wisely. To be honest, I would play this game just for the art style, but it has much more to offer. Sadly, I can't say the same thing about ACT, Autonomy Cell-Tones. It's a rhythm game, and what is the most important component of a rhythm game? Audio experience. From the get-go, I was not a fan of the music choices. The setlist is dreadfully generic and forgettable, and this is a huge problem. The soundtrack is supposed to bring flavor to a game. You can't afford to make poor choices with it, especially in a game that puts the player's focus on it. To top it off, these are the most pitiful kicks and snares I've ever heard. And I guess everything I said is a matter of taste. It's up to you to decide if the music is good or bad, whether it fits or not. So instead of using the song I found on Pixabay, let me play the original soundtrack and walk you through the outline of the story. After years of coexistence, humans and AI merged together. Humans are losing their souls, eroded by AI logic. You're asked to tune the cells of the human subconscious and bring back spirituality. The good news is, even if this game wasn't made for music enthusiasts, it was definitely made for rhythm game enthusiasts. The game's biggest strength is the rhythm mechanic itself. You can press any key to hit the note, but the game doesn't want you to spam the same key over and over again. If notes are red, fine, go on, smack the same button repeatedly, but if a note is green, you'd better press the button that sits right next to the previous one. There are also blue notes, and with them you need to jump to some faraway button. Potentially, you can play this game with one hand, but do you really want to engage with this mechanic? I respect the novelty, I respect the experimentation, but the driving force behind challenging the formula must always be a desire to find even more fun. And I don't find it fun. I don't know how to feel about it. It's surely different from the rest, and there are obviously some hardcore rhythm game veterans who will find it refreshing. I'm not that deep into it. Wired Tokyo 2007 is another nice little thing. It's only up, but with an anime twist.
Yay, yay!
And it is set in Tokyo.
Yo, yo.
Yep, it's Tokyo, alright. I love that it's filled with otaku nonsense. Believe it or not, climbing up may not be the most important thing to do in this game.
よいしょと。
Collecting outfits is. I won't play ball with this game, it's pretty basic. Oh, sudden Sisyphus reference. Apparently, I am pretty good at doing useless, pointless activities. Imagine if I lose it in the end. It will be hilarious. No, it isn't. Damn it. It wasn't even the end. Now I don't know how to feel about it. Finally, the gods forgave me. Last steps. I hate you, ball. Railpunk Mayhem immediately caught my attention when I saw a screenshot of a colossal mechanical bull chasing a steam train that was running through the beautiful scenery ripped straight from classic westerns. Steampunk fused with the Wild West is something that you don't see often, and I don't think I can name anything particularly successful in that field, but this game will certainly be good. It starts at full steam. As a train engineer, you are expected to make sure your train is running smoothly, and ideally you want to fend off a horde of robots trying to push you off the rails, literally. And I love when everything goes off the rails in stories focused on a mental state too. MINDFATE is about that. Something that starts with so many warnings usually under-delivers, or goes into a comically grotesque pile of brutality for the sake of brutality, or worst-case scenario, becomes a very boring journal of an author's self-exploration and therapy that we, the players, must witness for whatever reason. But I think we are good here. MINDFATE is unsettling psychological horror with disturbing imagery. It's bold and threatens you with a good time. I will say the same thing about HellHeart Breaker if the developers rethink it a little, but let's not jump the gun. Let me introduce it first. HellHeart Breaker is a dungeon crawler. It's looking really good overall, and has amazing character design in particular. That last part should get you invested in the relationship system. Story-wise, you play as a mysterious creature that was buried alive, but awoken by chance during a renovation in a fancy bathhouse. When I first saw Kenari, the owner of this bathhouse, I chuckled a little. Anyway, she makes you work for her, but to stay in the city, you must get approval from one of the 7 clans ruling it. It will take time to get on their good side, but it comes with a caveat. The signs of these clans have their own worldviews and plans for the city, so by getting closer to one of them, you will make everyone else your enemy. In the demo, my choice didn't really matter. The developers wanted to showcase the bond system by making a scripted event with one of the girls that I hadn't even talked to before, so this was kinda upsetting. Still, what is the actual problem? Dungeons. They are a snooze fest. Farm resources by breaking everything. Again and again and again. Fight enemies. This should be fun, yet it's not. Different types of weapons highlight different problems. Swords provide you with a fast, but completely mechanical attack, where you mindlessly button mash your way through crowds. Maces are the fastest way to die because of how slow and ineffective they are. Enemies will punish you beyond belief for even attempting close combat, so pick up the bow and cheese the whole thing. It's unrefined and unsatisfying, especially compared to the bond mechanic. After you're done with another dungeon, you should visit your Oshi. The girls will be asking you for food, and you can use this opportunity to strengthen your relationships. The problem is, your Scion doesn't know what she wants. You can try to narrow down vague requests with follow-up questions, but it will only help a little. After collecting all the possible clues, you should visit the market, and an abundance of choices is frightening. This time I think I did well, but I swear, if I hear even one complaint in the future, I'm doing the cooking myself. And my cooking is recognized as a crime against humanity from Brazil to Australia. On an unrelated note, have you ever wondered how to cook a goblin? First things first, to make sure to seal in the juices, start with a gentle touch of fire. Don't worry, it just works, because it's fantasy. Next, add some water. Go with your heart, but don't let the meat drown. It's not ready yet. Finally, sprinkle some seasoning. Grass will do. Congratulations, your goblin is cooked. Apply this recipe to a whole game. My first thought when I saw this game was not really important, because my first thought was, I like this character. My second thought was, I don't want to play games with a Western art style anymore. But my third thought was, it actually reminds me of Slay the Spire in a good way. And you would say, then play Slay the Spire too. The thing is, I don't want to. I don't want to replicate my experience. I want a new one. All my favorite games from 10 years ago got sequels. Slay the Spire got one. And this thing looks exactly like something I already played. Hollow Knight got one. I played it. I hate it. I had better times with Hollow Knight clones because, in a sense, they moved forward and gave their own unique spin on it. Darkest Dungeon got one, and people continue to play the original because it's original. It even got new DLC recently. But who even needs it when everybody has mods?
Ruin has come to our family. All the decadent horrors I have seen pale in comparison to that final, crowning thing. I could not look, nor could I look away. The degeneracy of the hamlet is nothing, I fear, when compared to the condition of surrounding acres.
Reknight is not just a deck builder with turn-based combat. Because of an extra dimension, you must think carefully about your positioning on the field. Greater damage comes from exploiting vulnerabilities, so you need to chain your actions correctly. It gives you enough room to build a strategy and be proud of yourself when you successfully execute it. And building your deck wisely will help you with that. It asks you to keep in mind a lot. But this is a good thing, and it's not a sequel. Gallery Nocturnea, on the other hand, gives you a different kind of challenge. It's a boss rush. You rise from the ashes as a cute girl without her memories. Your body drives you to the mysterious tower. This tower tests your worth through battles in magical paintings. Show it your strength to become the Lord of Night. Well, I don't want to become the Lord of Night. I'm here for the love of the game and to meet new people. And there are a lot of new people. You can find one in the picture called Cognitive Dissonance. At least I assume it's called that, because what is this modern city doing here? And this picture is called Suffering. I pretty much hated it. Magical Thief Silky treated me so much better. I'm properly embarrassed I completely glossed over it while doing my regular Next Fest overview. You play as Silky and her trusted sidekick Io. They are noble thieves, which means the girls are stealing from the bad guys. What are they stealing? These majestic creatures. Don't ask me. I'm as confused as you are. The game is a 2D action platformer, and gameplay doesn't reinvent the wheel, so all the creativity was put in the right places. Every level unlocked in the demo has unique enemies. I'm not sure. Is it a reference to something? Every boss has its unique magic show. Yes, this game is wacky but thoughtful. I like how they try to explain this nonsensical world, but it instead paints an even crazier picture. I like that they left room for simple but important interactions between the characters to make them even more likable. And unexpectedly, the characters are fully voiced. It's not that important, but it is nice. You probably have a lot of questions. Why is this game called Hips and Noses? Why are these girls growing flowers out of their heads? Why am I kicking dancing unks off a bar table? Why does it look like a completely different game? And let me tell you, I will spoil it if I explain it. This is an absurd world made by a mind crumbling into delirium who has forgotten what sleep even is. This art style will never be associated with sanity. By day you are a barista who deals with cafe management, and at night you are a lucid dreamer. Both gameplay segments are interconnected. The whole structure of this game is actually amazing. The more you play, the more neat little new things the game throws at you. It keeps expanding, yet it all makes sense in the bigger picture and linked at the gameplay level to help you progress and keep you entertained. It was funny to me, but Hips and Noses also has a relationship system based on being a slave to someone's taste. Every character in this game has a list of preferences when it comes to coffee, and they just won't tell you what they are. If you want to build a strong friendship with them, you must guess how to brew the perfect drink through trial and error. Don't worry, nothing bad will happen if you mess up a little. Not in this game though. At first glance, Magical Girl ER doesn't stand out from other decision-making adventure games. Gameplay will feel familiar if you've played even one of them. It's the theme that makes it unique. An overwhelming surge of monsters threatens humanity, and awakened magical girls are its only hope. You play as the acting director of one of the newly established hospitals. You have the expertise to help injured girls recover. Sadly, you can't help them all. Short on space, staff, and medication, you must make a decision. A ruthless, cynical decision. Will you accept and treat those magical girls? What if the estimated mortality rate is too high? Will you waste your time and risk your hospital's reputation? What if they are not popular enough? Leave them to die, and no fans or newspapers will make a big deal out of it. What if treatment doesn't go well? Will you give up and transfer them to a dodgy research center never to be seen again? I love a fresh perspective on tired tropes. For obvious reasons, magical girl media is usually focused on magical girls themselves. Here, though, you play as someone who would normally be a side character, and it's very nice to step into the shoes of a hero for heroes, someone who saves the saviors. Or you could become a villain. Magical Delta. Accept. So, how did you end up in the ER? Okay, don't tell me. I kinda already see the problem. I will prescribe you some vitamins. Before we go over your medical history, it's unrelated, but show me your tummy. It's not on the list of abnormalities, so I guess you are free to go. Maybe I'm the one who needs pills after all. You know what? Let me check with my colleagues before you go. ChatGPT, what the fuck? Mayak can be a good example of why a game doesn't need to be voiced to be excellent. Music and sound effects will do their work, and if the story is good, you will never notice the silence. This is a story about love, the meaning of life, and first contact with aliens. The last thing sounds out of the blue, but this is exactly what we need. You play as an astronomer who lives a happy life with his beloved girlfriend, in a spacious house on top of a hill, far from city noise, where he can admire breathtaking scenery outside and inside the house. Happy for him. I bet it feels like a dream. Who said I'm jealous? Anyway, in this world, scientists picked up a signal from aliens that is just a cryptic number, and our hero is trying to understand what it even means. The problem is, very soon his life will drastically change. I'm so happy it's not a pure visual novel. No offense to visual novels, but I can't find an excuse. I like my books to be games, and I like my art to be games as well. Mayak will be a freaking masterpiece. But if you are depressed or lonely, it will probably be torture. And I have nothing more to say actually. The end.